Year 775, we just pulled up on the job. We're in an undisclosed, totally off-grid site, and we have been talking to this customer for over a year now, and we're finally here to pull the trigger and get this thing installed. We got well pumps to put in, generators to install, air conditioners. We got the works in this off-grid location. He's really back in the woods on 100+ acres. Really cool. I'm going to be putting a nice ground mount here. Last time I marked out all these trees, so there's a conduit over there hopefully I can find. Got a machine coming here in about 5 minutes. We're going to put our powerhouse in this nice garage, and we're going to sub-feed the house. I got a Sol-Ark, and I've got everything on the trailer loaded up. So we've got Cummins generators, we've got Power Peak ground mounts, we've got Trina solar panels, we've got inverters, we've got a lot of batteries on here. So quite the load coming from South Carolina down here in Alabama somewhere. Well, end of day one, we're back to a Power Peak that I've had for about a year. So end of day one, and we'll have concrete coming in the morning, get this thing built. Conduit's already in, very thankful for that. And our batteries are in. I'll show you the mech room tomorrow. Okay, here's our mech room for the week. Thankful to the contractor that built this. We talked to him about where we wanted to place stuff. Got the well inside the building, which is always cool to me. Tie it into the house here and the other buildings. Yes, it's a lead acid battery. I know it's 2020, but there are no lithiums that can be EMP hardened, at least not at a reasonable cost. So we're going with 24 Trojan SAGMs. We've used a lot of those. They've been very good. And then we have we got a sub feed 1400 foot to a cabin in the woods. We got our solar feed from our array. We got a conduit to the house, and we put an extra one in. And then we have a conduit to the generator and controls for the generator. And the gen room's on the other side of that wall. So before we got here, had the customer paint this wall, because it's a nightmare to try to paint it after we build. So Sol-Ark is here, some other panels for some air conditioning on the roof, and we got to get busy. Got concrete coming here in about an hour. So we've staged everything. It's always nice to have a building to work out of, so we've had this garage to work out, and this is going to be our little generator room. Gas coming in over here, and then there's our conduits that go to our mech room. So we're ready to get it. And it's brutally hot yesterday. It's probably gonna be the same today. I'm just hoping it stays cloudy all day. All right, let's get busy. The array's about 200 feet away. I'm gonna run number 8 on this one. End of day 2. The array ready to put some panels on in the morning. We ended up putting 5 panels on the south side of the roof for a little mini split, and we got the batteries hooked up in there and a wiring trough. I'll show you all those goodies. So we're making progress. So we're out of here for now. So it is cooling off, but we're gonna go eat, enjoy some fellowship with the customer, and we'll be back at it tomorrow. Okay. So here's the little tiny house down in the woods that we are sub-feeding from a long ways away. They made a 1,400 foot trench, a 4-aught triplex coming in to here on the house. I haven't done a lot of filming on this job. We're just trying to get it. And it's a long day, but we came down to the tiny house. This is an add-on to the project to be able to put a solar mini split down here. I'm going to replace that window shaker there. So instead of this inefficient window shaking 120 volt unbalanced load, we're going to put a 240 volt mini split in here. So all we're responsible for is getting the DC power down to our disconnect and 2 MC4s to plug into the outdoor unit, and we'll be good. But it's quitting time, boys.
Can we go ahead and like call in order to the restaurant?
We could. It's not that. We got a new member of the team. Johnny's brother-in-law Jordan joined us for this job, and he's been the MVP. We were gonna do this, the 3 of us, but man, that would have been dumb.
Grinder.
It would have been a serious grinder. Last panel going on. Again, we're using the Everest mini rail. Makes it really, really easy on these corrugated metal roofs. Okay, there's a nice little 10 kW, 10.4 kW Trina Solar, 370 watt modules on a GSHC Power Peak ground mount. I've had this ground mount for over a year. I finally got to get to this job site and install this equipment. 7 posts, 8 yards of concrete, our IMO PV isolators down here. It's got a great solar window. It's better in the afternoon, which they need a lot more cooling here, so I think it's going to be great for them. It's going to work really well. There's your isolators, pull box. We pulled number 8's over. We got about 1% voltage drop from here to the Mech room. We did take down another couple trees while we were here. So just crazy good. It's baking right now, and it's early. It's 9, and it's gonna bake all the way to 8 o'clock. So we're good there. Let me show you the Mech room. I see this a lot where we have put in, or have had the homeowner put in another building, whether it's a garage or a barn or a shed, to make a power room. So our mechanical room is actually here, and then we're sub-feeding the house, which frees up a lot of room in the house, not to have to put your batteries and inverters and all your panels and transfer switches and generators up around the house. You can put it in a shed. It doesn't have to be as nice as this, but this just makes it a lot easier to maintain. We also had them build the house around the well, and that's kind of cool. So the well's contained within the footprint of the barn or the shop, and it's just nice from a security standpoint. It's getting rowdy in the Mech room. Let's see what's going on in there. A little rowdy in that Mech room. What's going on in here? Is it okay to get in here? Oh, there he is, Master Electrician Johnny Valentine. We're wrapping this thing up. How's it going, boss?
Going well. I'm just labeling away.
Label it up. All right, we have an 1125 amp hour AGM battery. We have a disconnect, DC disconnect. You're used to seeing these now from us, the Sol-Arks. We love them. They do a great job for us and for our customers. And battery's fully charged. The only load we're running now, again, it's new construction, is this fan. Johnny Boy is wiring or labeling up our main panel. And we did a little extra on this job for the customer in case he's got such a big house, big garage. We think in the future he might want to bring some grid power in, and he'll be set up to do that. So we brought in
for flexibility.
because we're flexible. Blessed are the flexible.
Well, they shall not be bent out of shape.
Should not be broken. However you want to say it. I'm making up parables. This is a normal operation, solar up, and we have a 2-wire start Cummins generator. I'll show you that. Our usual gutter, and we are sub-feeding a tiny house that is 1,500 feet away. We'll show you that as we leave. But we're actually running a little tiny house, which is really nice. They've upgraded it. It's a little cabin in the woods. And that's pretty cool. And let me show you the well. All right, so we got a well here. It's about 250 foot deep. We put a Grundfos SQ pump in here, and a 44-gallon bladder tank, and we are pumping away. So they've got water, and the water also goes to the tiny house. So again, we'll take water to the main house, the tiny house. We kind of suggested that instead of doing a separate solar system, because he's in the middle of the woods. So we're going to use this main system to sub-feed the tiny house. And then the generator room is over here. Little Cummins 13 kW propane. They didn't have the propane here just because. But we did electrically test everything. It will 2-wire start and charge the batteries up. We can also, because we put a bypass in, run the whole place off the generator if there was ever a problem with a battery or the inverter or anything else. So I think it's time to go, right, Abraham?
Yes, sir.
Let's get out of here. Good job, guys. And where's that Jordan? Jordan was very, very helpful. This was his first. We worked him hard. He's out there loading up. I don't know if he wants to say any final words. There's Mr. Jordan. You got any words for YouTube, Jordan? Or you want to lay low?
Hello.
Hello. Jordan has been about it. He said hello. So Jordan's been very helpful. He's Johnny's brother-in-law. We really needed an extra hand on this job, and he was a blessing. So I think this is about it. Wrapping up from a pretty cool off-grid place. And we'll probably be back in the future to add some things on here, but pretty excited to see how he does living off-grid. All right, we're gonna finish down at the tiny house. See ya. Okay, we are also using the Hotspot Energy AC/DC 12Cs. We think he needs a couple more, so we'll see what happens after these are up and running, because these are just fantastic for taking the load off of your existing heating and air conditioning system. So he's got a perfect roof for it, and we just put up a 1-ton, but he's got a pretty large home, and it is hot here. So looking forward to how these perform here in this very hot and humid environment. So the AC/DC 12Cs. We also have the 18Cs that are 1.5 ton, cover about 1,000 square foot. These do about 500 to 600 square feet. So a lot of people ask whether or not they can tackle one of these systems, and the Sol-Ark has made it pretty easy. So if you follow our videos, you can do it. We'd also be available to help you with your system. Happy to work with your electrician or contractor or whoever. We work with a contractor on this job, and he ran all those conduits for us. That saved a lot of time. Right, a 3-inch, 1,500 feet of wire over to a tiny house, and a couple 2 inches, and we threw an extra one in for good measure. Generator conduits, so that was a real blessing there. Wire troughs are a must, and transfer switches. So we went ahead and built the system not just for off-grid, but future expansion, bringing grid power in, and so because he's feeding 3 200 amp panels with this one inverter that only produces 33 amps. So it's going to be working. It's going to be working hard once they move in. So excited. And again, yeah, we put the well, told them to go ahead and build the building around the well. I like just having folks to have their water secure. Nobody can get at it, and it can't get contaminated. And it's just great to have the well inside your living structure. So that's it. The only thing, I know everybody's like, get into lithium, but you cannot harden it. So you got to have a lead acid battery for it to be an EMP hardened system. And again, this thing's been tested and blasted to 140 times, I believe, before it failed at 150 kilovolts per meter. So pretty impressive. Folks at Sol-Ark are doing an awesome job. Appreciate the support we get as well. I'm also setting these up before we bring them to a job and programming them with the latest software, and that's nice to have the latest version of software loaded. I just do that at the shop now. Saves a lot of aggravation because we're here with no power, there's no internet, there's nothing. So to get this system up and running, and there's just no Wi-Fi, it's nice. I just do it in my shop now. It saves so much aggravation, and that's the Wi-Fi dongle underneath. Right there, the DC disconnect is underneath there. There's a switch to turn the solar off. So another cool system. If you need help with building one, let us know. Be happy to help. All right, this is Engineer 775 signing off. And there are 5 panels for the AC/DC mounted on Everest mini rail. Pretty clean, blends in nicely. Pretty easy to install. He originally, I think he designed, well, the orientation of it to put the solar on the roof, but we convinced him of a ground mount, one less hassle down the road. And this porch roof is a really good air conditioning roof, so he's got plenty of room if you wanted to just continue this theme, and you hardly see it unless you're back here in the woods. So we just ran down and put our disconnect under here. The outdoor unit will go under the porch, so you won't even see that. And I'm not sure where they're going to put the indoor unit yet. So our goal was to get the solar mounted, DC disconnects in for this house and the tiny house, and that's it. Pretty cool house, pretty cool wraparound porch. So we like working with during new construction. It's just nice to not have to retrofit or add on, and it's just nice to know up front what you're getting into. And we do send 3D models, 3D rendered models, photorealistic models if you want, from SketchUp of your system, what it's going to look like, built to the actual size, so you have an idea. So there's no surprises when we build what we build. We added solar to it last night. So we added the same 572 cell, 380 watt modules, and a DC disconnect with the PV whips ready for the unit. They can mount the unit on the wall, and they wanted to put the indoor unit in place of the older air conditioner, which is great because that's a 110 volt load. The AC/DC is a 220 volt load, which provides a much more balanced load for the Sol-Ark inverter. What do we got down here? 240?
Yep.
Nice. All right, they can go ahead and wire up the tiny house now. They do have propane water heating. The water is coming from the other house. So the only load, heavy load, was an air conditioner. And we've solved that. So just LED lights and refrigeration. We should be able to run this place in less than 10 amps. Well, maybe. Less than 20 amps. Would be cool. All right, this is going to be nice. Nice little hideaway for, I think this is like a family hideaway here. All right, I think we're good. We did our check. We can go home now. Can we go home now, boss?
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
Hey.